Hi guys, what is it? I had to press the record. It's not recording. Record. Goodness sake. Hello, is there anybody there? Anyone watching? Wait, what's that light?
It's recording, you idiot.
Oh. It's recording. Oh, fantastic. Oh, I feel such an idiot. Oh my goodness. Right. Well, right, guys, just want to do a quick update here of what's been happening on this 400-litre aquarium. Right. If you have watched the video Light and Water Clarity, no doubt you will have seen that I have two Fluval FX6 filters in this cabinet here. But after 1.5 years of having them both in this cabinet, the one that runs that half of the tank began to lose its power in terms of the return. So the return flow was not as fast, as hard as powerful as it should be. Like this, it began to flow quite poorly. So I had to move it from this cupboard here over to this cupboard. Now I'm going to show you just now what I've done here. Okay, so I took the filter, the Fluval FX6 filter, I took it out from this cupboard here and I transferred it over to that cupboard. So from this cupboard here, which is the one to the right below the tank as you're looking at the tank, and then I transferred it to the other cupboard, which is here, and that's the Fluval FX6 filter right there. So that's the one I'd moved. But before moving this filter, I drilled the holes, I cut out holes from the shelf. When I was ready, I then took out the filter and moved it over. Now I could have done it, I could have taken the filter out first, then drilled the holes, but that's not the right way to go about it. You see, had I taken the filter out first, then cut out the holes and then put the filter in, what would happen is I would be losing too much time, where I would really be running the risk of ammonia. Now why do I say that? Well, because the filter can only stay off for half an hour, and I wouldn't even push it to 2 hours. If the filter is off too long, it's not active, water's not, the filter's not taking in water, and it's not putting water back out. So the water's not turning. So what happens? Lack of oxygen. The beneficial bacteria inside the filter will begin to die off. And once it's died off, and you put the filter back on, that ammonia spike that's already in the filter, caused by death of beneficial bacteria, and then ends up inside the main tank, and that could lead to disastrous consequences. So I cut the holes out, then I moved the filters. Okay, good. Now the next thing I want to brief you in quickly is I took out some rocks and some stones from the tank. simply because here and here there were more. It was like I've got the 3 alcoves here, and it was like having the rocks going all the way up, which I felt like it was too cluttered. And now I prefer the look of it as it is now. Between the alcoves is more opened up, and you can see the effect of the alcoves even more, which is more to enjoy, and I think it's more pleasing. But that's not the main reason why I did that. The main reason for that is because every time I cleaned the glass, within 2 or 3 days I would have a serious build-up of algae on the glass, and that is because of a lack of circulation. So the water wasn't circulating inside the tank well enough. So in order to improve that, the water flow, the current, I had to remove some rocks, and that is the main reason why. Now I did mention about water flow and things. It has improved. And what should it be like when the Fluval FX6 filters are actually on? And I will show you that right now. So that's it there. That's how it should be. That's the power of the return. You can see it's really breaking up the tension on the surface of the water. And before, it was not doing that. It was like that. So that's far too still. Now that was over at that end of the tank. Okay, but this is how it should be. Another thing I've been doing is I've been working on a little project here. I have been making a plant rack or plant basket, and how I've been making it is with using egg crate. Now to make a plant basket out of egg crate, you're going to need 3 sheets of egg crate, or 3 pieces of egg crate, and I will show you that right now. So this is the basket here. Now I've siliconed the wave maker to the side of the basket, and I've angled it so it will face up, and that will break the tension of the water. Right. So this will go. That's it from the front. Okay. This will go above, and you're not going to see all this. The only part that you will see is this, as this will be the only part that will be submerged into the water. And the bottom, the underside is open. Only egg crate on the underside, and it's open. And that's to allow the roots of the plants. Now why am I doing this? Is because I will be using mainly plants that emerge from the water, and some of the plants are house plants too. So in order to stop the fish eating the plants, some of the plants may not even be suitable for their health, as one of them in particular contains gas. So I will put a description in this video of the plants. This is what I'm going to be using from now on, and I'm going to remove the few Anobias plants that I have in the tank, as they're pretty much doomed for anyway. I mean, you can see that the leaves on this one are chewed away and disappeared and what's not, you know, as if they're disintegrated practically. But that's just because if the fish are a good size now, and they're now able to chew even on a harder stem. So here I decided to wrap the side, to cover the sides and the front with the same background as that. So this will blend in nicely, it will tie in nicely, and it will not stand out like a sore thumb. When I took out the flue canister from that cabinet there, and I transferred it to this cabinet, it meant that I would be losing space. Now down here I had a storage box with a capacity of 80 litres, but I had to move the filter. It was an urgent matter. I was having some deaths in the aquarium, which I really could not I could not even accept, you know. So I had to act quickly in order to save the livestock there, and that's just because it was, again, a lack on the surface tension brake, and there was not enough oxygen. So to increase the oxygen, that's what I had to do, and that's also why I had to move the filter, was because before, when the filter was over here, the tubes would have to go through both cabinets and through out here, behind the wall, up and back in, and there were too many turns and bends, and what was happening there is the tubes were just filling up with air. Really, it was backed up with air, and that's what reduced the return flow. It was still sucking in the water, still pulling in the water, but the return was very weak, and it certainly has made an improvement. It's not quite as good as that, but that is because here I must have more dirt in this side of the tank, this end of the tank, and I actually pulled out the filter last week to clean it. It was relatively clean, I mean really clean actually, but it was blocked up. So at the bottom it was blocked, and there was a lot of coral sand, and it was quite gunky. After I'd removed that, the excess sand, the gunk, I connected it back in, and it did end up running like that. I mean, it performed like that. But now, after a week or two, it has reduced, and I think that's just the same again, pulling in a lot of dirt, a lot of waste, and I'm going to have to clean the filter once again in order to get the performance going. But the reason also is behind that is, behind these rocks I have, from this end right along to that end, pebble stones, and initially I put the pebble stones there very close together, so the gaps are tight, and that would be a good nesting ground for fry, meaning that the adults will not be able to get to the fish. So back to the part where I mentioned I then lost the space of the storage boxes. I then had to go out to a local hardware store, and unfortunately I managed to find 2 boxes. Now they were not 80 litres like the last one I had, they were only 50 litres, and in order to make it 100 litres, which is 20 litres more, I had to get the 2 boxes. But always better a little more than less, so I got 2 boxes with a capacity of 50 litres each, totaling up to 100 litres, which are 26 US gallons. How much did the boxes cost in total? Well, for both boxes it cost me £28, which in US dollars it's $34. So 34 bucks is really good. I mean, you can't go wrong. So these are the boxes here. You know, you can give me your thoughts on what you think. So that's one box, and this is the other box. Now what I did here is, both of the two boxes, I cut a hole on the side at the bottom, and I fed a PVC tube through the box, through the two cabinets, and into the other box. Now, in order to join them and to seal the joints, I never had bulkheads, so I used a lot of silicone. I went through 2 tubes of silicone, and I prepared some water yesterday in order to do a water change tomorrow, and it has worked. There has not been any water leaking out of the seals, so that's been fantastic. Now, I did this actually 1 week ago, so as of yesterday afternoon, it was exactly 1 week, and that allowed enough ample time for the silicone to harden and dry out and harden, and that's performed a really good seal. The PVC pipe, you may not see it very well in this video, but on this side here it's lower down, and on that side it's higher up, but only by about 3 centimeters of a difference, and that's just to allow the water from this box to run down that and travel along and into this box here. Now, I prepared the water on this side, and this is where the water will be pulled up through. So that's the new reservoir. It's my upgraded reservoir from the 80 litre to 100 litres. So I've gained 20 litres in all fairness, which is a bonus. And the way this works here is, I've got a tube that goes through the lid of this box, and it goes along here. Now, you'll not see it very well. I do have LED lighting for both these cabinets, but unfortunately I'm experiencing some technical issues, which I will have to have a look at to get the lights going again. If you don't get a good look at this, I could always show you in one of the next videos, just so that you see how it actually is behind the scenes here. So this goes along here, through the shelf, up here, and through the side wall, behind the main wall, up, over, and in. So after I've drained some water from the main tank, I will then get this plug here, plug it in, power on, see, pump. So that's the pump, and that's how I will then feed the water from the reservoir up to the tank in order to refill the tank. So guys, that is all the updates so far, and I hope you've enjoyed watching. If you are not a subscriber to this channel and it's your first time watching, don't forget to subscribe, hit that notification bell and you will be notified each time we do a video. Well guys, thanks for watching. Keep your head up and be positive, as positive is the only way forward. Take care.
Here is the list of plants that I will be adding into the aquarium.